My Lord and my God, I firmly believe that you are here, that you see me, and that you hear me. I adore you with profound reverence. I ask you for pardon for my sins, and for the grace to make this time of prayer fruitful. My Immaculate Mother, St. Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me. Today we celebrate the lovely feast day of Corpus Christi, the body and blood of our Lord. Brings me back to a memory. When I was about 8 or 9 years old, around that age, I had 2 older sisters. I still have 2 older sisters. And they would challenge me. They would say something like, I bet you can't get my glasses from my room in 10 seconds. And I would accept the challenge immediately, race up the stairs, and almost always beat the 10 seconds. And in fact, as I became more aware of what they were doing, they'd get to 9 and they say 9 and a quarter, 9 and a half. So I'd get some extra seconds. Kind of funny how easily I gave into that, because then very soon, when I was a teenager, I was much less likely to say yes to such a challenge. More readily, I would have said, you get your own glasses. Such was the teenage spirit that falls upon a human person. And Jesus, it's that desire to respond to requests I'd like to pray about today. I'd like to pray also about the teenage spirit that maybe makes me less willing to respond generously, to say yes to something that's asked of me. Because we read today's gospel and we find a very unusual request. Jesus, you make a very unusual request today. After you've had the room prepared and your disciples sit down for the Passover meal, you take bread, break it, and give it to your disciples. I imagine myself being one of those disciples. Maybe we can imagine that in our mind. What would it be like to be looking at you, Jesus, across the room? I was going to say across the table. There were no tables back then, but we could picture a table if we like in our mind. There you are across from me, and you meet my eyes, and you say, over this piece of bread, looks like bread to me, take. This is my body. I imagine myself taking it from you. I imagine my trepidation. I imagine my lack of understanding. This is all the words we have to go on. This is our Eucharistic faith. Jesus, that your word is creative and powerful and has made the reality present that you're inviting me to. Your word has made this happen. I take what's offered to me and I receive. Jesus, nobody in my life has ever said to me, take my body and eat it. Take the chalice of my blood and drink it. Nobody. This is an unusual request. I thank you for it. I thank you for asking something of me that is the last thing I expected to come from your mouth. Why do you ask this of me, Jesus? Why do you ask me to come to Mass and to be present once again to this request of yours? take this. We hear the priest say it. Take this, all of you, and eat of it. Because this is my body. Take it and eat because it's my body. Take this, all of you, and drink from it. Because this is the chalice of my blood. This feast day we have of Corpus Christi runs close on the heels of something we celebrated quite recently on Holy Thursday, the institution of the Eucharist, the institution of the priesthood, the beginning of these two mysteries that are so intimately linked, priesthood and the Holy Eucharist. One makes the other. Priesthood is so that we can have the Eucharist, and the Eucharist identifies the priesthood, tells us what the priesthood's all about. So why have another feast? Why have another feast so close about this mystery? Well, partly because this mystery is just so awesome that we want to go into it again. We want to pray and receive and learn. What is it you're asking of me? And me as a teenager, I could say to myself, I could say to you, Jesus, no, actually. No, I think that's odd. No, I can't accept this request. I could say that. I could say, well, I'll accept the request, but probably you didn't mean what you said. Probably you meant something else. So, I mean, I'll go through the motions, but I don't really think this is, real. It's real in the sense that it's kind of important, but real in the sense that I'm eating your body and drinking your blood, that now you're alive in me, that now you refresh the life that keeps me alive. You refresh my soul through this tiny little host. My teenage spirit rebels. Jesus, I want to be a child. Like that memory of mine where I race up the stairs. I want to say yes. I want to receive you with huge affection, admiration, adoration. I receive this awesome mystery and discern the love you have for me through swallowing this life, through having God inside me. God, you're awesome in your smallness. I believe, Jesus, with all my heart that this is true, that the words you lead me to are truth. This is my body. Your humanity and your divinity now fill me up each and every time I approach this awesome sacrament. How clean I want my heart to be in order for you to rest inside me. How eager I want to be to bring my soul to your priest in confession, to seek absolution regularly. Jesus, never let me get tired of regularly confessing, of learning the small things in my life that are amiss. Maybe worse than amiss. Maybe I go seeking after things that really I know aren't good for me. Wow. I so want to be clean in order to respond to your request. And then I think to myself, you only ever ask unusual things. You ask me to be holy. You ask me to forgive. You ask me to serve those around me. You ask me to be poor and detached from the things of this world. You ask me to share heaven with you forever. You make no ordinary requests on me, Jesus. Give me a child's love, a childlike love, to grasp with both hands, with my whole soul, with my whole mind, that this for me is life. Thank you for such an awesome gift. Thank you for my mother Mary, who leads me to love this gift more and more, the gift of the Holy Eucharist. When I go to Mass today, Jesus, maybe you've already been to Mass, let me sing your praises in my heart, because you are here. You are with me. Thank you. I thank you, my God, for the good resolutions, affections and inspirations that you've communicated to me in this meditation. I ask you for help to put them into effect. My Immaculate Mother, St. Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me.